Okay, 60 for the resonator, and my grandson wants the sex robot.
Each episode of Rick and Morty is written to conform to the same rigid 8-part structure. Co-creator Dan Harmon based the story circle off Joseph Campbell's monomyth, but just how closely does each episode fit? Season 1, Episode 7. Morty becomes a father when his sex robot gives birth, and Rick and Summer go on an adventure to the sex robot planet that happens to be ruled by, wait for it, women. Let's get into it. Remember, an ideal story circle has 8 phases. 1, comfort zone. 2, want something. 3, enter unfamiliar situation. 4, adapt to it. 5, get what they want. 6, pay a heavy price. 7, return to the familiar. 8, having changed. The A story in this episode kind of breaks the initial pattern of the hero's journey because it starts with Morty lying to Rick about getting a sex doll, getting it pregnant, and accidentally having a child. Not terribly heroic, but if we consider all of that the setup or comfort zone, then it all falls into place because Morty's want is to be a good father.
We gotta be careful. I lost the chance to be careful, Rick. I'm a father now. It's time for me to be responsible.
Morty enters an unfamiliar situation called fatherhood and adapts to it by throwing himself into parenting. He finds that both his mother and father don't know anything about parenting, and it's almost impossible to be a good parent. Ironically, he gets what he wants, to be a parent, but pays a heavy price when he ends up lying to Morty Jr., fighting with Morty Jr., and even losing him to teen angst, just like a real parent.
My life has been a lie! God is dead, the government's lame, Thanksgiving is about killing Indians!
Eventually, Morty saves the day when he puts his life on the line to save his son, and Morty Jr. decides not to murder everyone and instead to leave to pursue a life as a creative, returning them all to the familiar. Morty is changed a little bit, now having a slightly better understanding of consequences. This one is an interesting mix of adolescent shame and a hero's journey that Dan Harmon is really proud of.
Let's treat Morty like he's what we were really like when we were that age.
It's one of the reasons I'm insanely proud of this episode.
They wanted to portray 14-year-old Morty as a real 14-year-old kid, with all the awkward, pubescent urgings that come with not knowing what your body is going through.
Knock next time, you know? I mean, I'm sitting in here, I'm 14. I got a computer in here, you know?
Oh, I think I
You
understand.
know, you're really playing with fire when you burst in here like that, man.
The B story in this episode is Summer's first opportunity to be a lead character. Comfort zone, Summer at home. Want something, Summer wants to prove that as a woman, she's just as good at going on adventures as Rick and Morty. She enters an unfamiliar situation when she gets kidnapped and taken to an alien planet, adapts to it in the traditional Morty way by not dying, and eventually she gets what she wants, an adventure on a planet full of women who respect each other and don't need men in any way. It's worth noting that in this predicament, Rick would have been murdered if it weren't for Summer. She pays a heavy price when they're sentenced to death, and she's forced to make the women consider the duality of genders with her Marc Jacobs top.
Mark? Jacob? These are names of the penis.
Yes!
They return to the familiar in a ship the female Gazorpians give them, having changed. Rick now respects Summer's autonomy a bit more and seems more willing to bring her on adventures with him later in the show. One interesting thing from this episode is that each plotline blends both a sci-fi story with traditional sitcom stories like gender identity and puberty, making it feel like a classic episode of television minus all the weird six-armed alien parts. This episode was also a testament to the story circle since it apparently only took 6 hours to write the entire thing.
And I remember you knocking this thing out in 6 hours the day we had to deliver the script to network.
My pick for line of the episode was this.
It looks harmless now, but it could grow into something dangerous.
Like the insane clown posse.
Yeah, good one, Jerry. 2003 just called. It wants its easy target back.
Hey, 1995 called. They want their certain year called wanting its blank back formula back.
Why, Jerry? Why expend the effort?
Life is effort and I'll stop when I die.
It just felt like a fun joke that gets crushed under the weight of its own logic, but it's very satisfying nonetheless. I don't know, I just liked it. Get off my case. Okay, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. Leave a comment or subscribe if you want to see more of these, or see how much seltzer water you can drink. It's basically fun water. Anyway, love ya, fear ya, see you next time.
See you guys next week. See everybody next week.